Greetings from us here in Studio A of My Media Prime Television, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for watching. It's 10:30 a.m. and time for Prime Flash with me, Audrey Zatsa. Heavy downpour in the economic capital, Douala, since the early hours of this Thursday, August 11, 2021, has inundated several areas of the city. Some roads are actually inaccessible, preventing residents from leaving their homes. Affected neighborhoods include Bepanda, Mabanda, Makepe Musoke, Sable, Bonamusadi, Pombania, amongst others. Those in the affected areas are advised to monitor local weather reports, anticipate possible transportation disruptions, and adhere to instructions issued by local authorities. The Cameroonian-born international tech entrepreneur Rebecca Enonchong was taken back to the Gendarmerie Legion in Douala following a new detention order that was signed by the prosecutor of the Bonanjo Court of First Instance. She was arrested Tuesday by the security forces, reportedly on the instruction of the Attorney General. He is said to have filed a verbal complaint against her over contempt of magistrate. Rebecca Enonchong is accused of having disrespected the magistrate in a case pitting her and her brother. She is currently at the prosecutor's office at the Court of First Instance in Bonanjo as we speak right now. A young man identified as Akodem, a resident of the Kesugu neighborhood in Wum Menchum division, is said to have given up the ghost at the Wum District Hospital as a result of excess consumption of sachet whiskey called or locally called fighters. Eyewitness say the deceased, who was a park meat seller, consumed 10 sachets of whiskey offered him by a friend, adding two beers before collapsing at the opening of the third. It is rumored that Akodem had been promised a 25,000 francs CFA reward should he realize the feat of finishing 10 fighters and 10 bullets. Two suspects, Edang Mbaga and Mayon Kabate, aged 22 and 23 respectively, have been arrested for allegedly kidnapping and raping a 16-year-old girl on July 29. The arrest, which took place recently under the commandment of Charles Gaston Dongo. Reports with Nora Kakebi.
These are the two men, Eding Barga, 22, and Mayon Kabate, 23, who were apprehended by the police in the Central region for raping a 16-year-old girl. According to police sources, 16-year-old Ange Erika Andem was raped countless times by these two men and kidnapped. The men later asked for ransom, in which Erika's parents, out of fear, managed to raise a sum of 300,000 francs out of the 500,000 francs demanded by the rapists to secure her freedom. This ugly incident happened in the small village of Mfu in the Mefu and Afamba division in the Central region. And reports equally say 16-year-old Erika was kidnapped and raped on July 29, 2021. However, thanks to the timely intervention of Senior Police Superintendent in charge of research and criminal investigation services at the Central region, the two men were arrested on August 10, 2021.
La division régionale de la police judiciaire du centre a été saisie d'une plainte faisant état de ce que...
The police investigated the matter in which an adolescent was raped by some individuals and asked for the amount of 500,000 francs. This is a villainous act which must be punished seriously.
Qui exigeait alors pour sa libération le paiement de rançon de 500 000 francs.
It should be noted that the law enforcement officers in recent weeks have arrested other men who were also alleged to have kidnapped a 23-year-old girl, Harriet Yannick Elino Ate. Harriet was kidnapped and tortured recently with the kidnappers, asking for an exorbitant amount of 3 million CFA francs. Kidnapping in recent days has become the order of the day in the country. However, the law enforcement officers are sparing no efforts in getting the criminals into their dragnet.
Cameroon's Minister of Transport, Jean-Ernest Ngale Masina Bibei, has called on all promoters of interurban transport agencies to install seatbelts on their passenger seats so as to limit the consequences of road accidents. The call was made recently during a crisis meeting with stakeholders of the transport sector, a crisis meeting during which some two public transport companies were banned. Joy Ngong tells us more.
The Cameroonian government has hit hard on interurban transporters 1 week after the highway massacres between the 4th and 5th of August 2021, leaving over 40 persons dead. Implicated agencies have been issued an indefinite suspension. They are Avenue de la KDI and Solidarité Plus agencies. While announcing the suspensions on Tuesday, Ngale Bibe called on the authorities to cease all abuses by some travel agencies. Usumanu Shehu, driver of National Voyage, and Zugub Inyas, driver of Trésor Voyage, have equally been suspended for 6 months and 1 month respectively for gross disrespect of highway codes. The driver's license from Domo Betran of Général Voyage and Luc Prosper de Maison of Charter Voyage have also been seized for a period of 3 months. The accidents involving Charter Express, Avenue de la KDI, and Solidarité Plus Voyage took place in Makelene, Awai, and Bachenga, leaving over 40 casualties. Meanwhile, the accidents involving Général Express and Charter Voyage took place earlier in June this year, with 3 people dead. Other measures were equally drawn up during the crisis meeting, among which was the installation of functional seatbelts in buses of interurban transport agencies. All agencies must set up a vehicle tracking sheet attached to the journey information form on which the technical state of the vehicle is clearly indicated. The sheet must be signed by the manager of the agency. The average time for trips on accident-prone roads has equally been fixed at 5 to 6 hours depending on the destination, with an additional 2 hours for night journeys. Managers of agencies are required to mention departure and arrival times in order to ensure the respect of the prescribed journey durations, among other resolutions. The Ministry of Transport has warned against the disrespect of the highway code and promised to strictly sanction defaulters as prescribed by the Cameroonian law.
And on our health page, we talk about the COVID-19 vaccine, precisely the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, which arrived Cameroon recently with our health reporter, Bokengo Worthy.
Johnson & Johnson Jason's COVID-19 vaccine is the 4th coronavirus vaccine to be approved by the World Health Organization, following Pfizer, BioNTech and Moderna.
WHO gave emergency use listing to Johnson & Johnson's COVID-19 vaccine, making it the 4th vaccine to receive WHO's approval.
With controversy surrounding some of the vaccines developed, licensed and approved by some individual countries worldwide, the World Health Organization Director General has this to say regarding the J&J's Jason's vaccine.
We hope that this new vaccine will help to narrow vaccine inequalities and not deepen them. The COVAX facility has booked 500 million doses of the J&J vaccine, and we look forward to receiving them as soon as possible.
It should be borne in mind that safe and effective vaccine are a game-changing tool in the fight against the pandemic. Nonetheless, wearing a face mask, washing hands, practicing social distancing, avoiding crowded areas, amongst others, are some measures everyone is encouraged to practice without relent.
And out of the country, presidential elections started this Thursday in Zambia. Zambia's president Edgar Lungu has casted his votes today in what they call an observed election in his southern African nation. President Lungu, who is seeking re-election, will try to fend off a perennial opposition challenger, 59-year-old Akenda Hishelima, though in total 16 candidates are vying for the presidency. And we end with sports. The Indomitable Lions head coach Antonio Conceição has made public a list of 39 players ahead of Cameroon's qualification matches for the 2022 World Cup to be played in Qatar. The matches are scheduled for September this year against Malawi and Ivory Coast. Amongst the players caught up are 5 goalkeepers, 10 defenders, 8 midfielders and 9 attackers. And that was it for today's edition of Prime Flash. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching. Details in our subsequent edition of Prime News, 6:30 p.m. with Fon Quinta. Meanwhile, stay blessed in the company of programs on The African Eye. Bye.